time.
The Patriots make two big moves ahead of the trade deadline on the defensive side and are coming off a big win against the Cleveland Browns. We look at the moves, we look at the win against the Browns, we preview next week's game against the Falcons on this week's episode of the Gillette Gazette. I am your full-time scientist, fuller-time sports fan, Survora, here with my longtime co-host, father of Patriots Nation, Aiden Hauser. How's it going?
Going great, man. Going great.
So let's get to kind of the breaking news for today. Some activity at the trade deadline, something I would not have seen coming if you were to ask me at the beginning of the season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I think as we've kind of gone further into the season, me and you have talked a little bit, but I don't think these two players being traded really comes out as a surprise. I think the surprise, like kind of you said at the beginning of the season, we wouldn't have guessed just because Duggar has just been a long time safety for us, who's been just a good player, and then White just being a second round pick just a number of years ago. Just with the upside he has and the high pick, we thought potentially we were still going to develop him. But obviously plans have changed with the new regime.
Yeah, and I think plans have also just changed with the performance. I think Duggar got signed to a big contract a couple of years ago. Everybody was expecting big things out of him. Last season was a bit disappointing, but we thought he'd get it together, and he just really hasn't. He's been obviously he has the athleticism, he has the aggressiveness, he has the instincts, but he's made some foolish decisions, gotten burned on coverages, really hasn't found his place in the defense, and that's coincided with Jalen Hawkins playing really, really well. I feel like he's doing kind of all of the things we wanted out of Duggar. And I think with Hawkins getting that interception last week and recording another good game, I think that was kind of the nail in the coffin for that. And then for Keon White, again, someone that I expected to be an X factor as an edge, but has just really not contributed. He has not been the player I thought he'd be. He kind of the last couple of seasons, he's kind of been a training camp hero that hasn't translated things to the regular season. And with Harold Landry playing this well and us now in very much in playoff contention, I think we're at a point where we can't be patient anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's possible that they could be good players for the new teams. I mean, the Steelers could use some depth on the safety position. So
I hate how Duggar is on the Steelers because that's exactly where Jabril Peppers went.
Yeah, he's playing quite well there.
So Pittsburgh could potentially have Jabril and Duggar as their starting safeties.
Yeah, which was quite literally our safety duo from last year.
And they did a good job. It's crazy just how quickly things change. And I mean, I feel like our safeties are doing well right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think and that kind of goes into why we did this. I mean, we didn't really. There's not really a place right now for Duggar on the lineup, and he's getting paid too much to be a backup. I'm pleasantly surprised the Steelers were willing to take on that contract. A little miffed at the value considering that we got Duggar for a second, trading him and a seventh round pick for a sixth round. And I want to say it's similar for White. I don't What's the valuation for the White trade?
I think that was the same thing.
Same thing. And again, Keon White, second round pick. So, in hindsight, not great return on investment for both of those picks.
Mm-hmm.
Always a bummer to see that kind of thing, but needed to be done. And hopefully those sixths can be valuable. Well, one of two things. They can either be capital for a trade for a better edge or a better safety. Hopefully a better edge. I think that's where the need is.
Mm-hmm.
Or they can be draft picks for us, and we know how good the Patriots are in the sixth round.
That's right. Maybe we'll get another receiver.
Yeah. You never know. So I think it's a bummer, but it needed to be done. But I think it sets the stage. I think it sets the stage of a team that's not wanting to be active here, and hopefully, we started with the offloading part of things. Hopefully, we transition towards acquisition. I think there's a chance for the Patriots to legitimately improve themselves at the deadline here.
Mm-hmm.
What do you hope they do with the capital that they got?
I want an edge rusher. I think it's kind of funny. Like coming into the season, I thought the defense was going to be like elite, and the offense was going to be kind of a question mark. But our offense is playing so much better than expected, and I think our defense is just kind of missing one piece. They just kind of haven't really gelled all together as one. And I think another guy opposite of Landry that would be the missing link. Because I think Spillane's really come into his own as our lead linebacker. He's made a lot of good plays. He's a good run stopper. The DBs, they get beat every once in a while, but I mean, they're still playing bend, don't break. But if we were to really get that guy that just gets to the quarterback quicker than, I don't know, just our average guys, I think that'll be that much more. I don't know. It would make us that much more deadly. Especially as now I'm pretty sure us as fans and the team itself has playoffs in sight. I know we're only 6 wins, but that should definitely be in the forefronts of our minds. So preparing for that, making our team that much better, make a push would, I think, be in our best interest.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think we only got one sack on the day on Dylan Gabriel, and that's really one of the only weaknesses I can think of on the defensive end of things. But I think we've kind of let rookie and inexperienced quarterbacks hang around for a bit longer than they should be because we haven't been able to get those big plays going. We haven't been able to penetrate the pocket as much as we want, and so it puts more of a burden on the secondary. It puts more of a burden on the linebackers. They have to do more work. Having a more powerful pass rush, and I think we have that one side of the edge secured with Landry, and we need that other side secured because I think the interior has got the playmakers we need as well.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I think I ideally Trey Hendrickson, but Jalen Phillips will also do. If Hendrickson ends up being either too expensive or just not available, so we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, big start to the trade deadline. Hopefully, it leads to things on the acquisitions. But let's talk about the fact that the Patriots are now 6-2. How are you feeling about that?
Dude, the vibes haven't been this high in a long time. Like each week, I'm just like more and more giddy about like the culture, the team, everything. I feel great.
Yeah, me too. I mean, it feels surreal, honestly. And
it's just great being like going from like I don't know. There's so many teams out there who have just been like a cursed franchise. Like we had like 20 years of like awesome football, and then like 8 of just horrible. And then, I mean, obviously, I'm not going to say the dynasty is back, but like it feels good to be like good and respected again as a team.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I feel like it's cohesive football. It's very watchable football. It's fundamentally sound football that we're playing on both sides. I feel like we are playing the big moments well. I feel like we're playing relatively mistake free football. Obviously, there were a couple in this game, and we'll get to it. But I think we're making up for our mistakes. We're rebounding from them. I think that's the biggest thing. Like these games haven't been without their hiccups, but much more so than last year. I feel like we are um, learning to brush off the tough moments, learning to brush
Mhm.
off plays allowed on defense, learning to brush off turnovers on the offensive side, and overall just playing cleaner and better football.
Mhm.
So it's good to see that. Um, we're adding a new segment. We wanted before getting into the nitty gritty of the game. Um, football is a momentum game. It's decided in specific moments, and there were moments at which this game looked dicey. So where what moments do you look back to when you look at this game and what won the game for us?
Um, I think the two were the big booty touchdown. I think that was right before the half,
Mm-hmm.
and
After
then
that, I think
was it?
we only scored field goals in the first half,
Oh,
unfortunately.
that's right. So it was quickly after. Um, and then the Spillane interception as well.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. I think that was a big momentum swing. It kind of blew the game open.
I mean, especially because like with a young quarterback who I don't think it's hard to come back from that in the league, especially as a rookie. But he was also a guy who just like didn't throw any picks and was conservative already. So to like be that stingy and pick off like what was a conservative pass, it was just like a little slant was it was awesome. Um, so I think that was pretty big. It was after that pick where I was like, all right, I think I'm feeling pretty comfortable about this. I can't remember what the
yeah,
score was at that point, but
yeah. I think that was the game that the Keishon Booty score was what made it 30-7, and the interception is when we were up 16-7 and allowed us to make it 23-7.
okay.
Yeah, I mean those plays are definitely what blew the game wide open. It moved the game away from close game territory and kind of brought us fully in control.
Mhm.
Um, for me, I'm actually looking a little bit earlier than that. Honestly, I think the moment that won us the game was when Drake threw that interception. Tough play. Um, he didn't see the coverage. He didn't see Schweissinger there, and Schweissinger made a really good play. Um, but at that point, we were down 7-3. Didn't we had all the kind of momentum going away from us that the Browns had orchestrated a touchdown drive not too long ago, and we had a real chance of being down 10-3 or um, even 14-3. But the defense held big time. We forced off the turnover. We forced the 3-and-out.
Mhm.
Made for a long enough field goal, and they ended up missing it. And I feel like at that moment we were able to kind of turn the game around. We get a
Mhm.
field goal the very next drive, um, and then I think also scoring right before the half. I think that's what kind of turned the game in our favor. I think the way we played right around the end of the half, I think was very big. Um, you know, Andy B deserves a uh, big credit for giving us the lead. He scored all 9 of our points, and between scoring right before the half and then forcing a punt right after it, we kind of were able to take the game into our control at that point. And then after we scored, it wasn't really much of a game. And this is the mark of a really good team. This is what separates potentially championship caliber teams from just decent teams, that you can find a way to play good football, find a way to play winning football even when you're not playing great football. Make the big plays. And then I think they, after making some of those winning plays towards the end of the half, they came out of the break with a clear strategy on what to do, and made it very much not a close game.
Also, just want to say too that Hawkins interception was awesome.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, and let's not forget that Dylan Gabriel hadn't thrown an interception all season,
and then he throws 2 against us.
Yeah, exactly. I think his rating for the game was an 18. So that's nice.
I was scared after that first drive, but we pulled it together.
Yeah. I think we'll get into the nitty gritty, but they were able to get back to that pattern of using the tight end, and for some reason we're just really bad against tight ends.
Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, Fannon's a good player, and Njoku's a good player, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just curious to see how we just gotta figure it out. We gotta figure it out against some of those.
I'm gonna segue this straight into my first down. That's my first down. I think the way that we played against the tight ends. Gabriel was able to get comfortable towards the beginning of the game because he had that crutch, and then Gabriel threw for 156 yards, and 99 of them were against tight ends. We actually, we did a phenomenal job against Jerry Jeudy. We did a phenomenal job against pretty much their entire receiver corps, but they had their way with us as far as tight ends were concerned. But I will give them credit. I think in the second half they did a lot better. I think they made life more difficult for Finn, and their linebacker play was a lot better. Whatever adjustments they did at halftime clearly worked. But we're going into a game where we're going to be dealing with Kyle Pitts. I don't know if he's quite measured up to potential yet, but he has a lot of potential as a tight end. He's a franchise type tight end. So again, we're gonna have to deal with that. Buffalo, when we play them, we're gonna have to deal with Kincaid. Good tight ends all around throughout the schedule that we're dealing with. So we have, Mark Andrews when we play Baltimore. So yeah, we're gonna have to be better with defending the tight end position, especially because I think if we can do that, we can really. We've been good against the receivers, so if we can figure out how to defend tight ends properly, we can really open up the defense and make life extremely difficult for the teams that we face. What was your first down?
It kind of goes in line with what you said, just defensive. It's a defensive down. We've talked about it before, but we got to start playing better in the first half. It's so, the last 2 games have ended as blowouts, but it's stressful, the whole first half being that close to a team that we should be blowing out already. We did the same with Tennessee. We had a slow start against Carolina. We kind of just got to be aggressive and play a full 4 quarters. I want to see a game where we can play a full 4 quarters of just awesome football instead of just a half.
Yeah, No, I fully agree. I think it's these slow starts are not going to fly against Tampa, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
They did not even fly against Atlanta. We know how good they can be at their best level. So, and especially when it comes to the, if we do play as we've been playing and make the playoffs, we cannot afford to start slowly in those games.
Mm-hmm.
A team like Kansas City or Buffalo will absolutely pounce on us.
I mean, but with all that being said, like I know our defense is capable of it. I think our defense has played well for the most part. I just want to see like the aggression that I know we're capable of, and like the nastiness that we need to display just for full 4 quarters. I'm happy with how they played, but I think there's still more to be I don't know, I guess revealed in just the talent level I guess we have. I think there's a lot more that we could kind of showcase.
yeah, yeah, and I mean it's nice that we can be greedy and put ourselves in the position of being critical like that, right?
It's the Patriot way. We have to.
Yeah, but yeah, I agree. I feel like we've been playing, and the fact that we can record a 19-point win when it genuinely feels like we played a bad game, is good. This is the mark of a contending team.
Mm-hmm.
But I agree. I think there are still improvement areas, and hopefully, part of it is schematic, and part of it could potentially be addressed in the trade deadline.
Mm-hmm.
For my second down, and this was tough. I there's a part of me that does not blame. There's a part of me that does not blame the offensive line for this, but I'm gonna put 6 sacks on Drake May as a down, even though Myles Garrett is an absolute monster. Um, I thought some of the sacks were preventable. I think they could have done a better job of maybe reacting a little bit quicker, and maybe I think there were times where I thought it was on May. I thought there were moments he could have gotten the ball out quicker, especially knowing that it's Myles Garrett on the other side. There were times where he was rolling out and he should have gotten rid of the ball, and he hung on to it. But I guess both on Drake May and both on the offensive line, 6 sacks not ideal. But that being said, some of those sacks, there was nothing we were going to be able to do about that. Myles Garrett is just a crazy, crazy, crazy player. I mean, some of the sacks were off double teams, but I also thought the execution of those double teams were kind of poorly handled. We didn't we put a double team on him because it was Myles Garrett, but I felt like it wasn't they weren't cohesive double teams. But it's difficult. I mean, he's got the size of an edge with the footwork and speed of a corner. It's ridiculous. So I don't know if this is a down or this is just a complimenting Myles Garrett, but
I'd say it's more so complimenting. Like 6 sacks, it's like any other team would be like, yeah, but it's like, oh, it's just Cleveland, it's Myles Garrett. I guess it's okay.
Yeah, a little bit of both. But at the same time, we're going to face good edges at other points in the schedule. It's not Myles Garrett isn't the only good one, although he's probably the best one.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to say how much to read into that, but I think there is improvement to be had there.
Mm-hmm.
He also got sacked 4 times in the Tennessee game, so it's not just a Myles Garrett thing. I think there were it's been a semi-pattern, and I think this was a bit of a coming to age game for Will Campbell. I think this was a little bit of a welcome to the NFL moment for him, and we'll see
Absolutely.
how he rebounds from that. It's your second down.
Dude, I'm trying to think. I don't know if I have one. I'm
Sorry.
serious. I can't. I'm trying to look back in the game, and be like, what else other than the defense starting slow, letting Myles Garrett kind of kill us, and I don't know if I have one. Do you have one? Do you have a third?
Turnovers, I'd say. Um, while I don't fully blame May for that injury, I think it was a really good defensive play, and I think it was hard to see. I think there were safer throws for him to make on that play.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of traffic he was throwing into, and I like the risk taking, but I think in that moment it wasn't necessary, especially when we were already down.
Sure.
Luckily, the defense came in clutch and made that not matter. Henderson having his first ever fumble. I'm not going to put his performance in general as a down. I'm going to put that fumble as a down.
I think that was just another time where the play was just better. Like I don't think it wasn't like he was careless with the ball. It was just a perfect like punch from the back.
Yeah, and that's why it's hard. I mean, we played a good game.
Mm-hmm.
Barring the first quarter, we played nearly a impeccable game. I guess another
Mm-hmm.
one. I'm gonna have 4 downs in a game that we won by 19. Not converting the red zone. I mean, part of that was Myles Garrett brilliance, but I think there were again safer plays we could have made, getting out the ball a little bit quicker, finding the right thing to do. I just think I don't think we handled the goal to go situations properly.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously the third field goal was completely like we were out of time, but I think the first and second again it felt like those drives should have been touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
But again, that's partially just Myles Garrett brilliance. So I feel like 2 of my downs have just been hats off to Myles Garrett.
He deserves both of them too.
Yeah, can we get him? What would it take? What would it take for the Browns to give him to us?
Oh, dude, I bet it would take like probably 2 solid young players and a couple firsts. I bet.
We'll give both of the sixths. We'll give. I don't want to give anybody up though. That's the thing.
Behringer straight up.
No, too much. Too much. Who's gonna punt the ball? Can Andy Borregales punt? Is that a thing?
I don't know. Probably.
We can't give up our best player.
Yeah. No. I mean, giving up our best player for their best player, I mean, makes sense, but
giving up the best player in NFL history for him does not.
that's true. That's a good call.
Yeah, I would love to get Myles Garrett on this team, but it's not really doable. I mean, yeah, I don't even think two really good young players would do it. It would have to be like a starting caliber player, a couple of prospects, and a pick or something like that. He's a number 1 pick who has somehow outplayed his draft value.
Yeah, he's insane.
But it just goes to show that like we saw firsthand by looking at the other team the kind of effect that having a really good edge can have on the game. I mean, he single-handedly cost the team 8 points by denying us probably more than that. I can only think of 8 points because there were 2 drives where we were pretty much sure to score a touchdown and ended up settling for a field goal. But there were aspects of that didn't have to do with Garrett. I mean, he got the sack on the 3rd downs, but the 1st and 2nd were on us. So,
Right.
Yeah, I guess that's a down. Let's enough of the downs though. I think we won by 19. I'll have you go first with the ups since I went first with the downs.
Okay. I think my first up was like we just absolutely just crushed Quinshawn Judkins in the running game. They did I think they had 60 something yards of rushing. Which I mean Judkins has been kind of on a tear. He's looked pretty good. So to get him, I think what was it, 9 for 19 or something he had.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Just taking out arguably their best offensive player and just putting the game in Gabriel's hands was the right move. That was awesome. So I think us just finally just being a good run stopping team against a good running back was encouraging to see.
Yeah, 100%. That honestly, that would probably be my biggest positive for the game. And I was expecting Judkins to be an issue. He wasn't, and most of the 68 yards they had on rushing was just that one gadget play from Corley. So as far as yards from running backs, they had barely any.
Mm-hmm.
I think the linebacker play is just stellar. I think our interior defensive line play has been really, really good. It's not just this game. It's been week in and week out. This is the first game where I felt like we've done it against a really, really good running back. But honestly, I mean, other than A-Chain, we really haven't struggled against any running backs, and I don't blame us all that much for struggling against A-Chain. We did really well against GT. We pretty much shut down Jalen Warren.
James Cook.
Yeah. Hubbard didn't do much. Same with ETN and Dowdle, who we know all of them can play at a really high level. We did well against Kamara. We did well against Pollard. I mean, it's been really good, and it's encouraging because of who we're facing next week. That Bijan is a big threat, and honestly, Algier behind him is also a very good running back. That up is going to be tested for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I think if we play as we've been doing, we can at least minimize the damage from these guys.
Mm-hmm.
My first stop, got to give it to the guy that scored our first 9 points of the game. Borregales has been fantastic. Again, still has not missed since the Miami game.
Yeah, I think he's 9 for 10 on the year or something, isn't he?
Yeah.
Or is that before his first kick? I can't remember what it is. I'll look it up.
Yeah, he's been perfect on extra points since that game, and been perfect on field goals since the Raiders game. Again, love that resilience. All the eyes were on him. Everybody was calling for Parker Romo by the end of that Miami game, and he has completely shut it down.
Not you though. You've never wavered off of him.
Yes. I've always been a Andy Borregales fan throughout training camp, throughout the season. No, but I was wrong, and I'm happy about it. He has exceeded my expectations completely.
He's 12 for 13 on the year.
Yeah, I mean, it's some of the best kickers. A really good figure. It's just good numbers. Hasn't missed outside of 40, and I mean, yes, his extra point percentage isn't amazing, but it's just those two from the Miami game.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, that's he going into the half up was big, and he's the reason why we were able to do that. I feel like going into the half up kind of allowed us to breathe and approach the second half with more aggression and open up the game.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, and now it's we've had a number of years. I guess with Nick Folk, we felt pretty automatic for the most part. But even with Chad Ryland and there's just always been some sort of, who are you rolling with? Like, is it gonna be okay now? Like ever since Gostkowski left, even with Sly, it's like, okay, he's just kind of like a journeyman. But now we got like a young guy who like I feel pretty confident in. Whenever we have like a big field goal, it's like, all right, like he's been pretty automatic this whole year. And he's made big kicks in big situations. So I mean, just him adding even more is just like it's just looking like a really good pick in the 6th round at this point.
Yeah.
And I mean,
So much
we
so
could
that
even
I moved one of
arguably
my fantasy teams.
did he?
Yeah.
And I mean, do I dare say we have our franchise kicker now? Like kickers stay around for a long time, and the good ones stay with the team for almost forever. I mean, you see Tucker and I mean Gostkowski, like
Vinatieri before that.
yeah, Crosby, like these guys who are teams value just really good kickers. They don't let them go. Boswell, like he could
Brandon
be the
Alves
next
is
one.
shaking in his boots looking at Andy Bargalas. That's what I'm telling you. No, I wouldn't go that far, but
His little cowboy boots.
he just has nice. The guy, yeah, he nerves of steel and is consistent. Not much more to say. He's making his kicks.
Mm-hmm.
What you got to do. Yeah, Brandon Aubrey still hasn't missed this year, so I'm not gonna say that. He did miss an extra point though, at some point. But he's still perfect he's still perfect with field goals, so I'm not gonna go that far. But yeah. Second up.
So we were talking about Judkins. I'm going to talk about his teammate. I thought Travion Henderson finally had like a really good game. I know he had that fumble, and it was, of course, it's like the guy who doesn't fumble is going to fumble for us now. But I mean, he was a rookie. Like I said, it was a good defensive play. But he had over 70 yards on just 10 carries. And granted, a lot of his carries were like on the outside, which I think he does most of his damage in. I think he can still be a little iffy just between the tackles. I'd like to see him improve there. But the fact that he was our leading rusher and with a limited number of carries was awesome. He looked like he looks like the athlete that he always was. He had a lot of juice and just had a lot of really good chunk plays. So I think if we can kind of figure out how to keep using him in the offense, him and Ramondre in just different situations, I think he's only going to get better. So it was, I guess I'm just saying, it was just really encouraging seeing him go from 2 carries or whatever it was just last week to 10 for 70.
Yeah, 100% agree.
And arguably a fumble away from scoring a touchdown too. Like, let's be real. He probably would have scored a touchdown that drive if he didn't fumble it.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, would love to see him get in the end zone, but other than that, I thought really great game from him. And yes, most of his yards came in the outside, but this is exactly what I was saying last week. Use him for what he's good at. So I think part of the credit for his performance, part of it definitely goes to him, but part of it definitely goes to Josh McDaniels for calling the right plays for him. Play to his strengths. He's a player that thrives on the outside, then use him on the outside. I'd still like to see more of him in the passing game, but at the same time, we also kind of have the passing game covered, so it's maybe not necessary. I think it was an important signal to the Patriots that okay, the running back position is fine for the most part. It was my signal to say let's get an edge at the trade deadline and not worry about running back.
And I'd be right there with you because I mean, also Cleveland has a good run defense. Like the fact that we kind of just ran on them a good bit. Granted, we were stopped a lot of times, but getting chunk yardages like that against Myles Garrett, and Mason Graham, who's their first round rookie, like that's. I can't remember if he played. I'm pretty sure he did, but I mean that's good. It was a good defense that we kind of ran the ball pretty well on.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought, and Mason Graham did play. Yes, wasn't a factor though. Had a pass deflection and nothing else.
Okay. What's your up?
So many to choose from. I'm gonna go Mac Hollins. I mean, he very much established himself um, as a central piece to this team. I think Drake May is getting more and more comfortable with him. He's ever so reliable. I mean, he had seven catches on just 7 targets, so not much more that can be said there. He played a pretty perfect game.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, overall, I think he's improving every single week. I think he's establishing himself as a more and more as an untradeable player, and looking forward to seeing what more we can get from him.
Mm-hmm.
With that size, I'd like to see him used more on 50-50 balls. I feel like he the balls he's been catching have been pretty in stride, and that's great, but I'd like to see him used a little bit more in the downfield game. But other than that, I think he's starting to really come into his own.
Mm-hmm.
And his 18 catches have been on just 21 targets. So when they go to him, he's delivering.
Yeah, he's been super super reliable, super clutch for sure. I think my up is I'm gonna do another receiver, just because I love him. But Kayshon Boutte is like that guy, dude. He I he has 5 touchdowns this year, um, which is tied for 8th in the league.
Wow.
But I mean that's just because there's a number of like 2-way and 3-way ties with like Dallas Goedert, another guy have 7, and then a handful of guys have 6, and then he and like I think it was I just looked it up. DK and Jamar Chase both have 5, and he's like with all those guys. But we we've been talking about how we need a big play threat and like how we really want Kyle Williams on the field. I still do want Kyle Williams to show what he's got, but I mean, Kayshon Boutte's turned into just that. Whenever we needed a big play and there's one-on-one coverage, Drake just throws the ball up to him, and 9 times out of 10, he's making the play. I think every deep touchdown has been to Boutte.
Yeah.
Other than that Saints one to Demario Douglas, but there's been this like jump balls, it's Boutte, deep ball, it's Boutte. Like he's kind of making a name for himself. Like obviously he's not like among the league's best, but I think he's a lot better than people are giving him credit for. And with the way we're playing, and I'm sure the confidence he's gaining, I think he's going to only get better as well. Like winning is so good for. I mean, it's an obvious thing, but like winning's always good. It boosts morale. Like everyone just like feels confident. The team plays more comfortably, like and confident in themselves. So I mean, I'm excited to see the kind of player he could truly blossom into because um, he's made he's made so many like he's made huge strides since just that rookie season where he would kind of got into Bill's doghouse.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. I mean, I think there's a legitimate argument that he is our best receiver right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't think he's a better player than Diggs, but I think you can argue that he has been the most valuable receiver for this team.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's coming through in the big moments. I mean, Diggs is your go-to guy, but Boutte is he breaks the game open. He broke the game open against Tennessee, and he broke the game open against Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like you said, five touchdowns, which leads the team. Nobody other than Henry has more than like Henry has 4, but everybody else has 2 or 1. So
Right.
a big part. I mean, he's a big part of why Drake May is playing as well as he's playing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think again, he's turned himself into a cornerstone piece of this team. He's only in his third year, so you say he's not one of the best in the NFL. I say he's not one of the best in the NFL yet.
I don't hate that.
I mean, playing this well his third year, there's no reason why he can't climb the ranks and establish himself as a key player in this league.
Mm-hmm.
And most importantly, May loves throwing to him.
Right.
He's second among receivers and targets as well. And looking forward to him just continuing on the track that he's playing on. I feel like he's been in the up section of our pod quite a few times.
And I'm hoping he continues to do it. Like, he's a dog. I love him. If we had to trade him away for like a bigger nameplay receiver, I'd be devastated. I'm not even lying. He's seriously become one of my favorite guys.
I think unless we trade him for Micah Parsons or Myles Garrett, I don't want to see him traded.
Yeah.
Micah Parsons for Kayshon Boutte straight up, fine. I'll allow it. But that's about it.
Mm-hmm. Too valuable, dude.
Yeah. And again, like, it's about what he brings to the team and
mm-hmm.
what he and it's deep ball threat, and it's comfort with Drake May.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, he's absolutely essential to what we're trying to do here. Was that three?
That was my.
Oh no. I still
you have one left.
I still have to do my third. Boy. I've given this guy the up a couple times. I'm going to give it to him again. Zach Kerr is doing a lights out job as our backup defensive play caller, and I think he's making a legitimate case. And I mean, I don't like saying this because I also, Terrell Williams is out for health reasons, not for performance reasons. But there could be a legitimate conversation to be had in the offseason, regardless of that, of who to have as our primary play caller because of the job that Zach Kerr is doing. Again, I think his starting decisions on defense aren't the best. I feel like there's some sloppiness to the schemes. There's some senseless plays early, but it's all the more testament to whatever he's doing at halftime and whatever he's even doing to adjust towards the end of the first half. I mean, really, the Browns didn't get anything together after that one drive in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he deserves a lot of credit for how he's bringing the playmakers we have together. And hopefully, if we can add another one on the defensive side, he can bring even more out of that unit. Yeah, I think especially for someone in an interim role, for someone that's filling in, he has really figured it out. Like, he's better. He's a better defensive coordinator than. Goodness, I already forgot the name of our defensive coordinator last year. Was it Demarcus Robinson or something like that?
Covington.
Demarcus Covington. Well, it wasn't good enough for me to remember him. He's certainly a better defensive play caller than Covington ever was.
Right.
Not that that's saying much, but yeah, I think he deserves a lot of credit for the job he's doing in this role. So good for him. Hopefully he can keep executing for us, and I'm hoping that when Terrell Williams does end up coming back, which hopefully is soon, wishing him a speedy recovery, that they can kind of that Zach Kerr can still be involved in the play calling, and that you can use the synergy of both of their skill sets and both of their knowledge of the game to collectively come up with a really good defensive scheme, because I think at that point you have then three really good minds in Williams, Vrabel, and Kerr all calling the game together. That's a formula for a team that can do good things in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So more football this weekend, and I think a bit of a hike up in difficulty, unless you look at the last game that Atlanta played.
Yeah,
because they made Tua look like an absolute god.
Mm-hmm.
I could not believe Tua's stat line when I saw it. 20 for 26, 205 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. Which just makes me salivate at what I think Drake May could do to them.
Yeah. I mean, the defense has holes, and then it's like, don't wish an injury on anybody, but like, man, if Michael Penix is still hurt and we're playing against like an immobile and likely dust Kirk Cousins, should be a relatively easy game again. As long as we can take Bijan out of the game. Because, I mean, also Drake London was hurt last week too. So, like, those are Penix and London being hurt are pretty significant to the offense. And when all you have to worry about is Bijan, you become pretty one-dimensional.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think, you already put your, you already said it. Bijan is definitely the biggest threat that the Falcons pose to us in this game. I mean, he's playing really good football. Already 549 yards. We're not even close to halfway. Well, we're close, but we're not nearly at halfway through the season.
Mm-hmm.
And he's already putting up really good numbers. He's been an X factor and honestly, I think the only reason he's not doing better is that the passing game has not opened things up for him much.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you look at the job he did. You look at what he did against Buffalo. 170 yards on 19 carries, 75 and 72 in the last couple of games. He's getting better and better as the season goes along. And then you've also got Algier backing him up, who's also a formidable running back. So it's reassuring to see what we were able to do against Judkins, because we've got a big test coming up.
Absolutely.
On that side. But despite him playing really well in the last couple of weeks, the Falcons haven't been able to do much on offense. They scored 10 in both of the last 2 games, and they just have looked completely out of sorts on the offensive side of things. And honestly, on the defensive side of things, they haven't been much better. It's weird because the Falcons, I feel like, are stacked with talent. They've got a lot of good things going for them. They've got a really threatening number 1 receiver in Drake London. They've got a talented tight end in Kyle Pitts, but things just aren't materializing. They aren't having players play well at the same time. I think if everything clicks for them, they have the chance to be a threat. We know what Kirk Cousins is capable of doing at his best, but I think he's quite far removed from it at this point. But this will be his second game back, so he has had some time to adjust now. And so he can pose a threat. But even Bijan wasn't great in the last game. Only 25 rushing yards. So I think it's going to take a lot, I think, for the Falcons to win this game. Where do you think we can hurt them the most?
I think honestly, it's going to be our offense, I think, is where we're gonna hurt them the most. Our defense is good, but I mean their offense is good too. It's just like, okay, we got a good secondary. They got Drake London, Darnell Mooney. We got a good run stopping defense, and it's like, okay, but they got Bijan. So I think the way that we are gonna beat them is our offense just has to be playing the same way it has been playing. It would not surprise me if this game turns into more of a shootout than the previous few games. Just with how the offense is, and that's assuming that Penix and London are coming back healthy. So I don't know if that's just kind of a dumb answer, but I think the way we hurt them is take advantage of the weak defensive play and just continue just to be aggressive on offense. Obviously, we want our defense to make a couple of key stops, but it's going to kind of be a tough outing for them with just all the talent they have all over the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, no, I thoroughly agree with you. I think first of all, I think this has the chance to be another get right game for the running backs. You know, both Achane and Gordon had good games against Atlanta last week. James Cook played really well against them a couple weeks ago. McCaffrey played really well against them 2 weeks ago. And so then consistently they've been porous against the rush. Same with Washington. Washington also played really well. They their linebacker play has been subpar. There's not much in terms of X factors, I feel like, on that defense. I feel like there aren't places where I feel like they can really expose us. I think they have a couple good players on the secondary. I think Billy Bowman is a very solid safety. We all know what D. Alfred's capable of doing. But there's just not much in the way of threats on the defensive side. I mean, I think Will Campbell will have a much easier time than he had last week. Zach Harrison is a decent edge. He's got 3.5 sacks on the year. He's certainly no pushover, but I think it's a very different ball game for our offensive line. I think we have the capability of winning the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I don't think their pass rush is really nothing to really be afraid of. Like, obviously we can't. They're still a professional team. We'll just have to. They got Caden Ellis, who's a good linebacker, and then I mean the secondary has a couple of key pieces too, just with AJ Terrell and Jesse Bates. And I mean even Mike Hughes. I remember he was kind of all right. I think he was in Pittsburgh for a number of years, but there are a couple of playmakers. Bates is getting a little old. Terrell's still a good defensive player, but like I don't know, not really anyone to be like. Not anyone we necessarily have to game plan for, like a Micah Parsons or a Max Crosby or I don't know.
Yeah, no, I fully agree. Or a Myles Garrett like we faced last week. Yeah, Ellis is probably the biggest threat on that side. Just tackling machine. But yeah, I think they're a lot weaker on the pass rush end of things, and I think there's just not consistency throughout the defensive side like some of the. I think the Browns had a much more well-rounded defense than what we'll be facing this week. So.
Oh yeah,
I'm excited to see what the offense can do this week. I think it'll be a lot of points. And honestly, I think the Falcons are also capable of scoring a good number of points. But I also think that this will be a pretty considerable test for them. I think we have a very strong secondary. I think we have we're going to make life difficult for Bijan. even though I think he's going to be able to do some stuff. He's an extremely talented player, but I think we have the ability to make life difficult for them. I think as a result, assuming Penix is playing, he's going to have to do more on the passing end of things. Obviously, Drake London has the capability of being a threat, but we've been able to shut down good wide receivers before. I mean, we completely shut down Jerry Jeudy. So yeah, well, we'll have to see. But I think the only thing that can get in New England's way is themselves in this game.
Mm-hmm.
So what's your prediction? How do you think this goes?
I think it's going to be a closer game. I think it'll be a little bit of a shootout. So I'm going to say we win this 34-27.
Wow, 7-point game. I'd say we win this 38-24. I think this is not a get right game for the offense. I think this is a stay right game for Drake May. I think this is a get right game for Mondre Stevenson.
Whose revenge game is it though? I'm trying to think. What Atlanta ties do we have? Hopefully not a Matthew. No, Matthew Judon's not there anymore.
Where is Matthew Judon right now? I can't remember.
I don't know. He was there last year. Is he in Chicago? Let's see. Matthew Judon. Miami.
Oh, that's right. Forgot about that.
We played against him. I'm trying to think though. Do we have any? I can't think any off the top of my head.
Oh, this is the Parker Romo revenge game.
Yeah. Yeah, it has to be.
that's pretty much it. But yeah, I mean, we cut him. Is he going to make us pay for it? Probably not, because you have to still get into field goal range. So unless
this is our Mohamed Sanu revenge game. We're just mad at them for fleecing us.
Yeah, and our first half of the Super Bowl revenge game, even though we won.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, we have to
gotta
find something to motivate us, and so we gotta find these things. This is the I wish Bijan Robinson was on our team revenge game.
Yeah, we're so mad at Bijan that we just destroy the run game revenge game.
There we go. If Kirk Cousins played, this is a revenge game for our last time playing him. I think Thanksgiving 2022, we lost that game. So if Kirk Cousins plays, that's another source of revenge opportunities, I guess.
I think that the revenge game I'm most excited for this season is the Tommy DeVito revenge game. When we play New York.
Tommy DeVito in that game solely for the purpose of making this a Tommy DeVito revenge game. If things get dicey, we can put in Drake May, but we should start Tommy DeVito in that game. Especially, I mean, it's unfortunate, but if Cam Scotty is injured for an extended period of time, I don't think the Giants will be a threat to us.
We're treating it like it's senior night at high school, where like the bad senior gets the first snap of the game and then taken out.
Yeah. Let's give Tommy DeVito the first snap of the game, and he can do whatever he wants. He can chuck it down the field.
Just launch it to booty, and then you're pulling him no matter what he does.
I think if he scores a touchdown on that play, let's keep him in. Let's see how far we can take this. I think, looking ahead, I think, again, like the Bills do keep winning, so we're still only leading the division by a hair, but again, I think there's a legitimate chance we win this thing.
Well, yeah, it's like the Bucs are going to be tough. The Jets just won their first game. The Bengals just lost to the Jets. The Giants, like Jackson Dart looks good, but I mean they've been giving games up in like the last quarter, and they lost Scatterboo, which is pretty significant. Buffalo's Buffalo. I mean, the Ravens, as long as they don't have Lamar, I mean, should relatively be easy. And the Jets and Dolphins again, who are like pretty average to below average teams. Like
But before we leave, let's find revenge game storylines for the rest of these games. So the Bucks, it's the you took Shaq Mason and you took Tom Brady and you took
And you
Gronk
took Logan Mankins
revenge game.
and Rob Gronkowski revenge game.
I'm super excited for that game. That is
That's gonna be a good game.
crime that's a 1 p.m. game. It is a crime.
It is. I'm so bummed it's not like a Monday night game or the Sunday night game for that matter. And then it's like the Thursday night. We have a Thursday night game against the Jets. Like Thursday night games are horrible, and then we get a Thursday night game against the Jets.
Yeah. I think that could be one of the games of the year. I have a lot of respect for Baker Mayfield. He's the only quarterback that I think you can make an argument and say that he's been playing better than Drake May.
Until last week.
But that's true. That is
he had
true.
a bad week.
The Jets,
Drakey boys jumping up.
I don't think we need a revenge game storyline for the Jets. They're the Jets.
We don't need a revenge game.
But let's find one anyway.
The butt fumble revenge game.
The Bucks beat us the last time we played them. The Nick Folk revenge game.
Nick Folk, is he still on the Jets?
He's back. Yeah, he's back on the Jets. Because he went Jets, Patriots,
Titans, Jets. That's so crazy.
It's wild.
Good for him.
Yeah, no, I'm glad he found a starting role. I mean, he absolutely deserves one. Ravens. Wait, is that no? It's Cincinnati after that, right?
Yeah, Cincinnati. Who else we got? Who we got from Cincinnati, or vice versa? Did we take from Cincinnati? The Ted Karras.
Oh, absolutely, Ted Karras revenge game.
Is he still there?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he is. Okay.
Because think about what our offensive line could be right now with Karras and Mason
instead of Bradbury.
Huh?
Instead of Bradbury.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
That would pretty much round out the line completely.
I can't believe we let him go.
Yeah.
If we had Karras and Tooney still, like that O line would be cooking.
Yeah. The Giants, in addition to being the Tommy DeVito revenge game, I'm still not over those Super Bowls. I will never be over those Super Bowls. And so every
David Tyree revenge game,
it will feel like a revenge game for those two Super Bowls. That will never not be a storyline. We also lost the last time we played against the Giants to Tommy DeVito.
Yeah.
Also the Gunnar Olszewski revenge
game. I kind of miss him.
I do too, but we've got Marcus Jones now. So I don't miss him too much.
Let's see.
We've got Buffalo. I mean, it's Buffalo. There's no revenge game necessary. The division is on the line in that game. The Matt Collins revenge game, though, Stephon Diggs revenge game. I mean, we have those storylines, and we still do. So
the fact that you said Matt Collins revenge game before Diggs revenge game is wild.
Yeah, I said that. I did that on purpose, but I don't think Matt Collins is feeling too much in terms of revenge. But whatever powers their revenge. Ravens.
Oh, I guess the Falcons game could be the Austin Hooper revenge game.
That's true. We've got that on our side. I forgot about that.
Yeah. So let's keep that in mind.
Goodness, finding one for the Ravens is tough.
Let me look. I'm gonna try and just look at our depth chart real quick to remember. I mean, the Matthew Judon revenge game would have been nice if he was still here.
I know.
Uh,
I think. I mean, they beat us the last time we played them, so that's something. Oh,
the
the Kyle
Jets
Van
game could
Noy
be
revenge.
huh?
The Kyle Van Noy revenge game.
I know. I was thinking of that if he was still
I
on our
was
team.
upset that we let him go, so I think that's fair.
Jets will be a Morgan Moses revenge game.
Right. Yes.
I don't know if we have any. Oh, if we have anybody that have played for either two teams.
For Miami.
Oh, sorry. I thought we were talking about Baltimore still.
Oh, Baltimore. Yeah, I think Kyle Van Noy is the only thing I can think of.
This is us taking out our anger on the Ravens just because of those years where Joe Flacco kind of gave us fits.
Yeah.
Prime Joe Flacco.
And you know what? You injured Mac Jones, and I have a soft spot for him. Revenge game.
Yeah. It'll be a kind revenge game.
I feel bad for Miami. I'm looking at their depth chart, and there are so many players on IR.
Okay, I got a gross revenge game that I just thought of for whatever reason. But if we still had him, this could be the Trace McSorley revenge game.
Oh, beautiful. Oh my god. Wait, the Ravens have Trace McSorley? Is that?
I think they originally had him, and then we had him like on the practice squad or like as like our third
Yeah, I know
quarterback or
we had
something.
Trace McSorley.
I'm pretty sure McSorley was on. I'm pretty sure he was on the Ravens.
Yeah, I think at some point early in his career.
Now he's a Commander, apparently.
Hmm.
Yeah, he was drafted by Baltimore.
Yeah, and then the Dolphins, of course, the Jake Bailey revenge game,
The Jake Bailey revenge game.
and of course
The
the
Devontae Parker revenge game.
Yeah, so he's on neither team now. Oh my god, the Joe Cardona revenge game. I forgot about that.
Oh, jeez. He's going to be snapping those spirals perfect.
Yeah. Joe Cardona, Julian Ashby, and the Ultimate Showdown.
Yeah, the best. That should be a primetime game.
Both teams should just like scratch their first couple drives and just punt and make this an all out like field position war.
Just
First
a
quarter
snap off.
just once.
It's just a snap off, dude.
Yeah.
I'm
And of
excited
course, the
for all the
revenge
revenge.
game. There's no question about that being storyline. I'm looking at the Dolphins depth chart. I'm going to do some counting here. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 on offense, 4 on defense, and 1 on special teams. That's the Dolphins' IR numbers.
Ew.
That sucks for them.
Yeah, that offense is bad.
13-person IR.
Sad to see Storm Duck on IR.
Who's Storm Duck?
That's his name. I don't know. I was just looking at it. I saw the guy's name is Storm Duck.
Oh, what a guy. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he backs up Juju Brents, which is also a great name.
That is awesome.
Dolphins are doing well in the name department.
Dude,
They're
okay,
not doing well
hear me
with
out.
much else, but
Hear me out. This could be a potential Jalen Phillips revenge game if we trade for him.
oh, I like where you're going here.
Potential Jalen Phillips revenge game. Well, to keep this, we'll have to remember this in a few weeks.
Well, he's on IR, but if he wasn't, this would also be the Yodny Kajust revenge game.
That's disgusting.
I think we found plenty. I think we did a good job here.
I like it.
We found one for every game. So I'd say we did nicely. But right now, it's all about the Parker Romo revenge game coming up this week. Hopefully, we'll be talking about how Andy Borregales completely outdueled Parker Romo in a kicker's duel.
And Austin Hooper outduels
Kyle Pitts.
What's his face? Kyle Pitts.
Very
Well,
possible.
what's his name?
The way Kyle Pitts has been playing this season.
And with how Hooper's been playing, I mean, he's been solid for sure.
Drake May should just throw every pass to Austin Hooper. See how far that takes him. Pretty far.
He can throw it really far.
I think we can win this game. Yeah, I don't know. I think we can win this game if we throw every single pass to Austin Hooper. I genuinely do. We should try it. We should see how far it takes us.
Drake May's first 300-yard game. It's all to Austin Hooper.
25 for 25. 432 yards. Every single one of them to Austin Hooper.
For 25 touchdowns.
That's my real prediction for this game.
Austin Hooper
goes off.
I would love it. I'd love to see it. That would be the best day ever.
Yeah.
He deserves it.
All right, we'll be back next week talking about Austin Hooper's huge game and previewing a really, really exciting one. I hate that I'm looking ahead. I shouldn't be doing that, but that Bucks game has been circled all season for me. It's gonna be fun.
This could be a great game. I'm excited for that one as well.
We'll see you next week, Patriots Nation.